Hello. Verse of the day, I've been reading a lot of Ecclesiastes, and so I'm just going to start in Ecclesiastes 4. If you would like to follow along, I'll be reading from verse 7 to 12. So, let's see. So, Ecclesiastes 4, verse 7. Again, I saw something meaningless under the sun. There was a man all alone. He had neither son nor brother. There was no end to his toil, yet his eyes were not content with his wealth. For whom am I toiling? He asked. And why am I depriving myself of enjoyment? This too is meaningless, a miserable business. Two are better than one, because they have good return for their labor. If either of them fall down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls, and no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how will one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of three strands is not quickly broken. So this is just a reminder that on our walk with God, I think a lot of times we might tend to feel like we can do things on our own, like a little bit too much, even when we know God's on our side. Like, there are going to be times, yes, like God can minister to you in any way. You can be all alone, like physically by yourself, and the Lord will minister to you however he pleases. But a lot of times, that might mean that he'll send people to you, to help you. And a lot of people use these verses as like a way to talk about like marriage and spouse and how two are better than one. But it also really applies to friendship, companionship, spiritual leaders, spiritual mentors that you may have. It even says, the man was all alone, had neither son nor brother. So it's saying like community is important. Or really just having those few people around you, that small inner circle, can make a huge difference. Because a lot of times I think we do tend to rely on our own strength, and really we're supposed to rely on God's, but I think we can tend to get used to being alone, get really comfortable sometimes in being alone. Especially if you're an introvert like me, like I can become pretty comfortable in a type of loneliness. I can become pretty comfortable in isolation, to the point where going out and being around people in turn becomes uncomfortable. So I just wanted to remind you of that today, but I'll probably talk about this more in part 2, so be on the lookout for that.